Autofocus. How do I set it up? What's so important about getting a good autofocus routine? Why is focus so important? What happens when things are out of focus? It's an important part of all of our imaging sessions. So how do we set it up correctly? What kind of equipment do we need? What's best for our particular rigs? What is the difference between the different systems? Well, that's what we're going to learn about today on another episode of Astro Playground. Stick around. So let's say that you've purchased a brand new telescope and you're reading all of these things on Starry Nights and other forums, and you're watching YouTube videos like this one, and they're telling you that you need to have some way of focusing your telescope, and you need to do it in an automated kind of a way. That requires some sort of a focus system. So what kind of focusing systems are out there? There are many different to choose from. You can spend a couple $100, you can spend thousands. So which one is best for you? That's going to take some research on your part, but let's see if we can maybe pull back the sheet a little bit and look at some of the different systems that are available. You have, for instance, like focus cubes, like the ZWO, right? EAF, right? Or the Pegasus Astro, focus cube. These are more of an inexpensive way of achieving automated focus. And they can provide an excellent way to integrate your running software system, be it an onboard computer or Raspberry Pi, or possibly like the ZWO ASI Air. There are lots of onboard systems to consider. The thing with the ZWO is that they are only compatible with other ZWO products. There are other options that are available as far as the focus systems. There are things that you can see on Astro World telescopes. If you go to Astro World telescopes, there are options there available for your onboard computer systems that will run your autofocus routines, they will run your autofocus machinery, and so on and so forth. The one thing to remember with the focus cubes, be it ZWO or the Pegasus Astro, or even the motor drives from Starlight Instruments, which we'll talk about in a minute, these are just simply drives. They drive a particular focuser, be it a microfocuser or a Crayford or something along those lines. So let's talk a little bit about the different kinds of focusers that are available and how they pair up with their drive systems. So when it comes to the different focus motors that drive focusers, you need to look at what kind of system you're working with. Is it like a micro focuser that attaches to the back of a cell that moves a mirror in and out on like a reflector telescope? Or is it more like an inline focuser like a Crayford, like this from Starlight Instruments? This is a Crayford focuser that basically allows you to move the rail system in and out to achieve focus, and the focus motor attaches right here to the micro adjustment. This knob comes off and the focus motor attaches directly to this and then moves this system in and out. It works the same with the microfocuser that you see here. That microfocuser also has a gold knob, and that motor will attach directly to that and move that microfocuser, moving that mirror in and out. So there are other types of inline focusers like this Crayford that you can see from like Moonlight. Moonlight makes a focuser called the Nightcrawler. Wonderful focus system, very expensive. Something that you would never have to probably replace again, but it is a significant investment. Also, Premaluce Lab makes a wonderful focuser called the Astro, and it also is an inline in your image train focuser. So these different kinds of focus systems are something that need to be carefully considered and to figure out which one is going to work best for your particular rig. Now, as it relates to my particular focus system, I use the Starlight Instruments Focus Boss focus system that you can see here. This is the actual focus system that runs the focuser, and here is the microfocuser that attaches to the rear cell of the C14. You can see examples of this in the videos that we have that showcase the focus system on the C14. The one thing to take note of, and it's something that I paid very close attention to when I was dealing with Wayne at Starlight Instruments, and they were talking about the focus, the microfocuser, which you see right here. That microfocuser is an excellent upgrade for the Celestron Edge options. They are made so very, very well to incredibly tight tolerances. That focuser does an excellent job of controlling that huge mirror, that 14-inch mirror. So it, and any of the other subsequent Edge products going all the way down to the 8, the focus, the microfocuser from Starlight Instruments does a phenomenal job in controlling those mirrors. So, and when you pair it with the Focus Boss, the motor system, the drive system, it goes a long way to making a focus routine. Once you get it set up correctly, and we're going to talk about that, once you get that focus routine set up correctly, it is a repeatable process that is dependable over and over and over again. And of course, you know, it is dependent on weather conditions and seeing conditions and so on and so forth, what the atmosphere is doing. But on a clear night, you know, where you're dealing with just you know, stars and reasonable seeing conditions, the focus routine is phenomenally predictable. And once you get it set up, it's rock solid. So we're going to look at a little bit of that right now. Okay, so here we are in Neenah, and we are coming in from the Eagle through desktop. Through the desktop assistant, the remote desktop, and it's looking good. So we're going to go over here to our Starlight Instruments. Right now we are in the Equipments tab up here in Neenah. We're going to go over here and make sure that our Starlight Instruments is selected. We're going to go to Options, and I want to make sure that the system is synced, so I just go ahead and click that sync button, and we should be in good shape. We'll go ahead and power it on, and we are good. We're at the midway point. The Starlight Instruments, the Feather Touch focuser has a large step size. I believe that it is 100,000 steps in its capacity. The step size is very, very small. I think it's 1.31 microns, which is a very, very small step size, which makes it very accurate, very high, very easy to achieve focus. So in looking at this, what we want to do is we want to go over to our options, and we want to click on our autofocuser. And we want to talk about a few of the settings that are here in this, this setup. And just to talk about a few of these, we are using the initial, a lot of this is, it is default to the setup here in Neenah. There are a couple things that we want to make sure that we're doing. I would suggest that you change, if it is defaulting to parabolic, that you change it to hyperbolic. Just in the initial, you know, the first few runs, you may want to leave it there at hyperbolic. It seems to be less problematic, just switching it over to hyperbolic. You want to make sure that the autofocus method is set to HFR, and number of attempts, I leave it at 1. You can certainly, increase that 1, 2, 3 attempts, whatever. Eventually, you will only need 1 attempt. Um, and bright stars, outer crop ratio, binning. I leave it. All of this basically, I leave this alone. Now the R2 threshold, we're going to talk about that here in just a little bit. The autofocus size, step size. Now this is where we're going to have to work at how to get to a proper step size, and we'll cover that here in just a second. The default autofocus exposure time, where I don't typically need more than 2 seconds. You can certainly increase or decrease that. 2 seconds seems to be a pretty good sweet spot. And of course, we're going to turn off the autofocus, the guiding while autofocus is running. Number of exposures per point is 1. You certainly don't need any more than that. You can play around with that if you'd like. The default seems to be fine. And of course, outer crop ratio, leave that alone. Leave it to the default. One of the things that you want to make sure that you're doing here in the backlash compensation, you're going to want to make sure that this is set to overshoot. All right, and you don't want to, whenever you're doing a backlash overshoot for compensation, you want to make sure that these two values here, that you only change one of them. Don't mess around and change more than one. You leave one at 0 and mess around and then adjust through the other one. Otherwise, they're just competing with one another. Not dissimilar to putting a humidifier and a dehumidifier in the room and letting them fight it out. You don't want to do that, all right? You want to make sure that you're only adjusting in one of these boxes. With those setups there, we will come back over here to our imaging tab, and we'll make sure that our imaging camera, our main camera, is connected and is ready to go, properly cooled, and so on and so forth. We will go ahead and do we will take an initial image and find a star to focus in on so that we can set our step size. Okay, so here we are at the imaging tab. This is a previous curve that we did, focus curve, and as you can see, we're actually it looks very good as it is right now. We're at the R squared at 98, which is excellent. Now, one of the things that R squared is and does is it measures the previous focus attempts that you have done, and the previous focus, good focus attempt, as long as it's within a set range, which right now that set range is 0.7, either 0.7 or 0.8 is good. If for whatever reason your focus routine going through here does not match that acceptable level, that set level that you have for the R squared, the hyperbolic R squared, it will reject that model, it will reject that focus attempt, and it will revert to the previous focus attempt. That is a very powerful tool in that if you are imaging and you have an obstruction, clouds or something that comes through and obstructs the focus, it will not rely on that focus based on the algorithm that you have set, and will therefore revert back. So that, if you're shooting and your focus routine is, say, once every hour you do an autofocus, you have effectively lost that hour due to bad focus. With this R squared, it eliminates that as a problem and will revert to your previous good focus, saving you a lot of wasted time. And time in this hobby and in this field is precious. So when we have clear skies and good seeing, we want to take advantage of that. We don't want to waste it at all on bad focus routines. So looking at this, we're going to go over here to options, and we're going to just look at where we're at here. So I am going to change the focus step size down, and I'm going to take it down to something that I know is not correct, but just to show what we're dealing with here, I'm going to take it to 50. And at that level, 50 it is not going to change very much at all. So what we're going to do is we're going to come over here to our imaging tab, and we want to take an image, and we're just going to do that quick 3-second image. That will show us our stars, and what we're going to do is we're going to zero in on that star right there. So there is our star right there. So what we want to do is we want to increase our step size until we see this star grow at about 30 to 40, maybe as much as 50% in size. So we're going to take from where we are right now at 4950, and we're going to increase that by, say, 100 points. So we'll take that up to 100 step size. We're going to take 49,600, and we will move and watch, take an image and watch what the star does. Okay, and I don't think that star grew by 50%, so I'm going to take it up even more, and we're going to take it up to 49, and we're going to take it up another 300 points, so that's going to take it up 400 total points. So that's going to take it to 49,900, and we'll move. And again, not a great amount. So we're going to take it up again another 200 and take our image. Okay, so from here, if I go back to where we were, which was 600 steps down, so that would be 49,500, and move, you'll see that star shrink. Okay, and we'll take our image, watch carefully what the star does. So that definitely shrunk. So that's 600 steps. That's 600 steps. I want to see it grow by probably at least 50%. So I'm going to take it up 800 steps. So from 49,550, we're going to take it to 50,300 and move. Now this is a total of 800 steps in between this image here, and now watch very carefully, watch what the star does. That definitely grew by 50%. So that's going to be our focus step range is, focus step rate is at 800. So what we'll do, we will bring this over to our options, and we'll come back over here, and we're going to reset this to 800, and we will come back here, take our image back down, come over to autofocus. Now if you don't have autofocus here in this taskbar, you can come up here and select it from up here, and it will put it down here along with your other tasks that you want. So we're going to go ahead at this image here, we're going to run an autofocus routine, and as you can see, this is where we were before. Now there's one other thing to take note, and it's this little tail right here. Typically when it starts that routine, that tail, if the tail is pushing, or if you have a couple of focus points that it's relatively flat here, what you're dealing with there is backlash. So I see a little bit of extra backlash right here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna compensate for that. So if you look at where it is reading right now, it is 51,900 there to about 50, I would say 52, 52,700, somewhere in that neighborhood. So I'm going to increase my backlash. Coming over here to options and looking at my overshoot. Right now I'm at 1200. So I'm going to increase that by a factor of, I'm going to be conservative and say 200. So I'm going to take it to 1400 on the backlash and see where we're at. So we'll come back over here to imaging. And at this point, we're ready to run a focus routine. So we will go ahead and start our autofocus. And this takes a while, so I will go ahead and speed up the video. And there you go. As you can see, we have a nice curve. We have our bottomed out focus point down here at the HFR position of about 6, and the top one at about 22, 23, like that. That is about 3 times that's what you're looking for, is about 3 times the distance for your half flux radius. That will ensure that you have a decent focus. And as you can see, our hyperbolic R squared is right at where it should be, which is 1, which is perfect. So we will take a quick image to see where we're at. And we have nice pinpoint stars, which is exactly what you're looking for. So one of the things to note is the distance between the highest point on your HFR, which here is about, I would say, right around 23, 24, say, and the lowest point on your scale, which is down here at about 6. 6 times 4 is 24. 6 times 4 is 24. So 4 times the distance. That's what you want. If your HFR is not at least 3 to 4 times difference from the starting point to its deepest point, you need to dramatically increase your step size in order to get these steep curves, a nice bell bottom, low point on your steep curves in order to get a good half flux radius ratio. That's key and critical. So in looking at this, just a quick recap, my particular step size is, for this focuser and setup, is about 800. Now, even though these parameters, some of them are set to default, each one of these is going to be scope dependent, focuser and scope dependent. So you're going to want to play around with the base principle in this to get it to fine tune for your particular scope. So there you have it, a successful autofocus routine. Predictable, reliable, guaranteed to help you to achieve pinpoint stars in your astrophotography imaging. What could be more important? So what have we learned today? It's important to be able to choose the right equipment for your particular rig. Whether you're spending little money or spending big money, doesn't really matter. The important thing is that you find something that will work well with your particular system. If you like this content and you'd like to see more, please consider subscribing to our channel. We have videos that are going to be coming in the very near future. We'll also be having more imaging sessions with the C14 coming up. And we're looking to do some live stacking sessions. So look for the possibility of live YouTube, live stacking sessions with the C14. I would also encourage you to come over and check us out at Astro World TV. We'll be meeting tonight at 8 o'clock, as well as Friday at 8 o'clock, both Eastern Standard Time. Come and be a part of our community at Astroworld TV. I'm going to go ahead and put a QR code right here for you to go ahead and click on over to our YouTube channel tonight and come and say hi, introduce yourself, and let everybody know that you got there by visiting us here at Astro Playground. I would also encourage you to come and check out Astroworld telescopes. Go over there and say hi. Let Dan know that we here at Astro Playground sent you on over. I'm going to go ahead and include an affiliate link in the description below. And when you click that link, it doesn't cost you anything to use it, but it helps us out. We get a small commission on anything that you buy, and that goes a long way to help keep supporting our channel, and so that we can continue to bring content like this to you. And if you like the information and the content that you're receiving, I would encourage you, subscribe, like this video, and hit that notification bell. That notification bell that will ensure that the next videos that we put up, you will receive them in a timely manner and be able to come over and check out our latest content. In the meantime, I would encourage you to keep looking up and keep appreciating the splendor of this magnificent galaxy and universe that we have that has been open to us to explore. So keep imaging, keep educating, and clear skies. Until we meet again, from all of us here at Astro Playground, bye for now.